Hello and welcome to the video lecture session for the course Power Electronics and PLC Lab meant for Diploma MI students. Here I am going to discuss part B, that is PLC programming. In this session, let us discuss Introduction to PLC and ladder programming basic concepts. For that, let us begin with the writing up ladder programming for the basic gates. Okay, these are the topics to be discussed. Introduction to PLC, why we need to study, why we need to go for a PLC, then major PLC components, how the PLC is going to work, that is PLC scan cycle, PLC ladder programming concepts, then what tool we are going to use for the PLC and its procedure, how we are going to for the steps to be followed by that tool, and lastly we are going to discuss the ladder programming for the basic. So let us move first to the introduction to PLC topic. Here PLC is nothing but it stands for programmable logic controller. It is an industrial computer control system that continuously monitors the status of input devices and makes decisions based upon a program developed to control the status of the output devices. It means there would be some input devices such as the switches and all that we are going to see in the further slides, and output device to be controlled such as motors, lamps, etc. They are designed for multiple inputs and multiple output arrangements. They can withstand various temperature ranges, electrical noises, vibrations, and other environmental impacts. They are used to get a maximum efficiency from machine and control them with the human logic, or can be controlled automatically. Then why we need to go for a PLC when there is a microcontroller or any other automated controller systems? So because the reasons are here. PLC is a programmable logic controller, as we already discussed. It is very fast, highly accurate, and with higher efficiency, which are important factors for any industrial automation for large productivity or a higher productivity. Easy to change the logic designed for any particular operation or a process, that is it is highly flexible, reliable due to absence of any moving parts, lower power consumption, easy maintenance due to modular assembly, facilities in fault finding and diagnostics, that is we can when and where required we can modify the programming and remodified n number of times and check it for our required desired functionality. Capable of handling of various complicated logic operations. That's why PLC is meant for very simple to the highly complex processes. So we can design any kind of logic here, and we can store the database of whatever logic is being developed for our documentation. So that's why it provides a good documentation facilities, easy to couple with the process computers, analog signal handling and closed loop control programming is also available there, and it is also used with the many counter based, timer based and comparator based programming. So these, due to these n number of advantages, PLC is widely preferred. Now coming to the major components of PLC, it basically consists of a input module, processor and a output module. And in order to operate this uh, controller system or the overall system, we need a power supply, and in order to activate various devices, controllers and output devices connected to this PLC overall system, and then a programming device. So input module, which are like push buttons, switches, sensors, or any input device through which we can capture the signals that is being fed to the processor processed according to the logic diagram developed by the programmer, and this in order to control the output module. Output module may be lights, LEDs, motors, actuators, solenoid switches. It also has a memory in order to store the data for the future usages, or retrieve the data, or to change the any status depending upon the input and outputs. Okay, as we had discussed in the input module, major components of PLC slide, that is input module and output module. So these are nothing. Input module is the one in which signal is received, signal is uh, forced or given. Generally, these devices are sensors, push buttons, or any kind of switches. And output are the one which are run by which captures the signal through the input switches, and in order to run motors or actuators, to it is the end devices. These are treated as the end devices. Hence it could be lamps, alarms, motors, LEDs, solenoid switches, or else actuators. Central processing, coming to the central processing unit, it is the brain of the PLC which governs the various activities of the entire PLC system. It basically consists of microcontroller and memories in order to store and retrieve and control the overall process of the PLC system. In order to store the data for the processing purposes, it also possesses the memory in it, that is in order to store the information, programs or data, various types of data associated with the PLC logic. It generally consists of ROM and RAM. ROM is a volatile and RAM is a non-volatile memory. Now, coming to the power supply, in order to run overall PLC system, it requires a power supply separate unit, and programming device is nothing but overall input and output along with the processing, that is the processor is called as a programming device, that is input, output and control system. PLC works in 4 phases, that is read input scan, program execution scan, diagnostic communication and output scan. So hence it works in 4 phases which plays a very important role in right from beginning of capturing the inputs and running or controlling the output. So it is nothing but the input scan is nothing but scans the state of the input. Program execution nothing but processes and executes the program logic. Is nothing but the program execution step will scans the overall logic steps involved in the program. Housekeeping is nothing but it develops the communication and any fault finding within the process. Then output scan is nothing but after all these processes, it energizes depending upon the logic being developed. So this is the structure of the programming, one of the programming concept, that is ladder programming. PLC makes use of many programming techniques, such as it's not been mentioned here. There are instruction logic kind of programming. PLC adopts various programming techniques. As I told, there are many PLC programming techniques or methodologies. The widely used one is the ladder programming. In order to just mention or name the other PLC programming techniques, just to name them few, there is FBD, that is functional block diagram type of a programming methodology, or else instruction list kind of a methodology, or structured text methodology, or else sequential function chart methodology of developing PLC programs, or nowadays um, high level languages are also used as a in order to develop a PLC programming. But the most commonly and widely used method of PLC programming is the ladder diagram. Ladder diagram programming is the most commonly and widely used programming because it is the most simple and easily understandable by any user and could be developed by any developer if he knows very basic things, the input and the output devices, and he is little bit familiar with the tool, then it is a damn easy to develop the ladder programming. That's why it is most widely used and commonly used. So it is nothing but a pictorial representation of a horizontal and a vertical lines with inputs and output instructions written in terms of a rungs between the vertical lines. So as we can see in this image, there are two red vertical lines which are running parallel to one another. So these lines are called as the right and left power rails, and the horizontal lines uh, which are developed between these two vertical lines are called as rungs. So here it is having two rungs. If it runs from left end to the right end, in order to activate this connection shows that it is connected to the closed path loop for the circuit. So hence the any rung runs from left to right as shown here in the diagram. The rung is running from extreme left end to the extreme right end. So these are the inputs. The whatever is being highlighted in blue color is called as the inputs, and the one which is highlighted in terms of yellow color is called as the output. These blue color may be inputs, may be any push button switches, and this output may be any LED lamp or motor, fans, any end device which we need to control through by operating these inputs with some particular logic. And the one any branch which is connecting the second rung to the first rung is called as a branch. So now coming to the PLC tool, there are n number of softwares which are used to execute, develop the PLC program and run the PLC program. But widely, most of the people there are sorry. In order to just mention few of the tools or softwares, there is a Kian software. There are various versions of the Kian softwares. So here we are going to use the KV Studio version 6. It is easily free downloadable software. To just name other software, there is a Pico software, RS Logic software, etc. But here we are going to understand the development of the ladder programming and running of ladder programming over the KV16 KV Studio version 6 software. So coming to the procedure, so when we run one program, we'll come to know it is a damn simple. In order to one can run it very easily, just need to go to the KV Studio icon. After downloading the program, just go to the KV Studio icon. Installing the KV Studio, you need to click on the KV Studio version 6 tool. Okay, once opening the KV Studio, you will get open to this window. Here you just need to go to the file, click new project, give any program name, file name, just like my name is Vijaya Lakshmi. I'll give Vijaya, save it, say OK. You will get to open to this window, editor window. No need to keep open any of the window except this editor window in order to just simulate the PLC program. Now in order to develop any logic diagram, click on this button. This tool is very user friendly. It is a GUI kind of a tool. You can find n number of options here. In order to choose the whichever instruction you want to choose, generally you can choose shortcut method is you can choose directly from the GUI, or you can choose from the tool window also. So here I am taking LD. You supposed to enter the value. Okay, just a minute. I'm selecting it through the shortcut method. Enter. Huh? In order to give the horizontal connectivity, just click on F9, then select output from this GUI window, or else go to the, so here you, for the inputs you're supposed to start from 000, 001 like that, but for output you have to choose 500 onwards only, because these locations are fixed one for inputs and outputs. Here, in order to, for a sample to how to operate, how to use this tool, I'm taking example of a simple and a logic where there are two switches. Treat these two as a two push buttons or a switches which are connected to the, assume this as a DC source, these vertical lines as a DC source, and this as a lamp, that I am going to show those this connection through some logic diagram or switches in PPT. But time being, in order to explain the tool, I am explaining it. So after this, there will be down scrolling. So after this is a rung, one rung, single rung. So after this, every program has to be ended with the end and end h. So which is by default available in this editor window. So now after this is my ladder program, for simple ladder program for which written for a AND gate. So I am going to simulate this. So in order to simulate, just you need to go to this place. Here you are going to find editor, monitor, online edit or simulator. Now I am going to simulate, that's why I have clicked the simulator window. You need to click this button in order to run the program. So now this is the position of the inputs and output status. I need to force the input in order to check the output, whether my logic is working properly or not. So what I am doing here is, I am just clicking the input switch 1. So there is no output device is running. Why? Because the logic is AND gate. If and only if both the inputs are high, then only my output will be high. That is, assuming these two as the switches and this as the light or a lamp or a LED and this as a power lines, if I assume it as a power line, DC power line, so if I just open this switch, then there is no continuous flow of a current flow to this lamp, therefore the output is off. If I just click this in the second switch, it is the indication that both the switches are now closed, hence giving a path for a current flow, therefore the LED or a lamp is illuminating. Hope you are able to follow this logic. So now let us see the other logic in order to understand the concept of a ladder diagram of PLC programming. Now I am closing it. Now again you need to come back to the editor window to just design or write up a new logic diagram. Okay, this procedure we just now we have seen through the practically through the running the KV Studio version 6 and developed one simple program in order to understand how we are going to develop a logic program on the KV Studio, and have seen developing it over it and running and checking the output status. In order to understand, not directly going to the bigger complex programming for the PLC, let us try to understand a simple logic gates in order to understand PLC programming in detail. Let us begin with the NOT gate. So NOT gate is nothing but normally closed switch. So when the switch is always closed, the output is, so here the how the NOT gate works, when the input is 0, the output is high. When the input is 1, the output is 0. So that we are going to understand by the logic gate through normally closed switch. That is normally closed switch. So here unless I won't activate it, here the output status will be opposite of the input status. That is, when I run it in a PLC programming without the running the program, so it will be output status will be 0, because here it is closed switch but the output status will be 0. When I activate it, output status will be opposite state of the input. So as we had seen NOT logic, we are going to test that over the Kion's ladder diagram. So this is the NOT gate simulation. This is normally closed switch. You can opt normally close switch for output status also in order to check both either you can consider input normally closed or else normally closed output. Both the way you can do. Here I have chosen normally closed status as a input. Now I am checking here the NOT gate. That is how the NOT gate functions. When input 0 is given, output is 1. When input 1 is given, output will be 0. That is complements the whatever input you give, complements its output across the output, that is 0 1 1 0. So here it means that it is active status, that is 1, without forcing the input is a 1 status, therefore 1 is giving the 0 output. When I activating it is nothing but inactive, that is making it 0, the output is high. Hope you are able to understand and following the concept of a NOT gate through the ladder diagram. Now moving to the OR gate, let us first try to understand the operation of the OR gate through the simple push buttons or switches and a lamp and a power supply. So here the when A and B switches get closed, then the output will be on. Even if A switch is closed, the current will be flowing through battery A and lamp. Or else if A is off and B is on, then also current will, the lamp is finding a current path through the battery B and a lamp. So it means that when we just check the status of the truth table of for a and, so here we can easily understand the working of a OR gate through the truth table. So when both A and B are 0, the output is, that means nothing but A is open, B is open. Therefore output is 0, that is lamp is off state. When A is 0, B is 1, output is 1. That means A is open and B is closed, output is 1. That because it is getting a current path through the B. When A is 1 and B is 0, output is 1. Why? Because the current path then is battery A and a lamp. And when both the switches are 1, high or closed, then output definitely will be high or on state. So the same logic we are applying for the ladder diagram. We have considered two switches, that is A and a. Okay, what we were discussing in OR gate logic on PPT. Okay, just now what we had discussed in PPT, we are going to check through the PLC simulator, check on the PLC simulator. So here it is two A and B switches and output status, that is lamp. Now I am going to run this, simulate this program. OR gate I am simulating. So both the input A and input B is 0 0, output is 0. Now I force input A 1, output A 1 and B 0, output is high. A is 0 and B is 1, output is XOR output. Okay, coming to the AND gate logic, we have already discussed about the AND gate through the PLC simulator only. Is nothing but two switches connected in series to the power source and a output lamp. Here how the AND gate is going to work: when both the inputs are high, then only the output is high. It means as it is being connected, two switches are connected in series. If both are closed only, then only the output will be high. If any one switch goes or kept open, the output will be off. That we can see through the truth table, that is 0 0, output is 0, 0 1, output is 0, 1 0, also 0. Therefore it clearly highlights that, clearly indicates that the output is high if and only if both the switches are closed, because if any one switch is open, it won't provide a continuity of a current flow. Therefore this is how the AND logic works. So the same if we write for the ladder programming, PLC programming through the ladder diagram, it works like this. This is a switch A, switch B and the output. So if both are activated, then only output will be high. Otherwise, if any one switch is off state, then output will, or industrial automations. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you can follow this session. Thank you.